I remember a time when heroes sat around my table.
A time when the flames grilled 100,000 chickens.
I stood shoulder to shoulder with the whole team, waiting for lemon and herb wraps and a side order of coleslaw in the queue.
And used my Portuguese roll to soak up the sauce of my chicken livers.
I got an original credit card slip signed by the national coach.
My order number was 224.
Now I know why they call it the beautiful chicken.
I ate there.
We ate there!
Get down to Nando's and get 3 flame-grilled peri-peri chicken wings and chips for only $19.95. Make sure you can say, I ate there.
Mention the word Nando's to any meat eater, and their mouth will start watering of the thought of their household chicken and sauce. Nando's doesn't necessarily have recognisable jingles, sayings and mottos, so these are not used in the radio ad. However, thanks to the first voice we hear, the listener can be immediately engaged whether they recognise what brand it is or not. I remember a time when heroes sat around my table, is the opening line. It is said by a male voice in a Portuguese accent. Some that know the Nando's brand well will recognise that Nando's is a Portuguese brand, and so this opening line subtly gives away the flavour of the brand. It is also said in an exaggerated tone with a non-diegetic sound bang. This is like at the beginning of some dramatic light-hearted films, especially with the typical I remember a time, and engages the listener by making them feel that it is a grand opening to something important that they should be listening to. It also keeps the listener engaged by not making it clear exactly what the ad is about, and so they may want to listen to find out. The different voices used evidently have different genders and ages, thus not excluding any certain demographic from the target audience. The first few voiceovers begin to mention food, and at this point we feel it becomes clear that Nando's are letting a sense of the food do the talking, so to say, in this advert. That the Nando's brand, flames grilled 100,000 chickens. The idea of chicken, which is the food that the Nando's brand revolves around, is brought in quickly. This again reinforces a hint of the brand to the listener, via the different voiceovers exploring a different restaurant services to give away more aspects of the brand. My order number was 224. Even the simplest of restaurant services are said in an extremely exaggerated, enthusiastic manner. This adds a hint of humour to the ad, which we know works for selling, as it sticks in the memory as something enjoyable. The voiceovers are made to sound extremely blown away and proud of their visit to the restaurant, which portrays the restaurant as somewhere that you would definitely want to eat. The word Nando's is then dropped towards the end of the advert, so that once the listener has been engaged and aspects of the brand have been established, the brand being advertised is then made completely obvious. For only $19.95. An example of the price is mentioned because it is an affordable restaurant, and the price establishes an idea that is not cheap like a fast food restaurant, but is also affordable for most demographics. The non-diegetic mood music is only a subtle extra in the background. It enhances the exaggeration of the voices used and just makes the advert a little more interesting and engaging to listen to. There is also a non-diegetic chicken sound effect at the end, which reinforces the idea of the Nando's brand. The commercial is 43 seconds long, near about average for a radio spot, which is long enough to give a flavour of the brand, but not too long so that it begins to get boringly repetitive. Overall, it has quite a simple and somewhat humorous idea that works well on radio. We both, as me personally, as a Nando lover, feel that this advert engages listeners who can get an idea of the brand. However, we also feel that the ever so famous and delicious Nando's sauce could have been used in the advert more, and perhaps the food could have been described in an even more mouth-watering way, living up to the real deal.